Well, Jan Haverkamp is a senior nuclear energy and energy policy expert at Greenpeace and joins me now live from Amsterdam. Good to have you with us. Just how concerning do you think the situation is at Chernobyl?
Well, the situation is very dire. It's really very, I would say, terrible. Remember that Chernobyl has been taken over already on 28th of February. And since then, the people working there, the 210 people, staff on site, have not been able to rotate. That means that they're on the site all the time, 24 and now more than 7, so to speak. Under those circumstances, they need to keep the functioning of the plant running properly. And since this morning, 11:22, there's also no normal off-site electricity anymore, and they're running the vital the vital issues now onto diesel generators, for which they have 48 hours of petrol of diesel available. And when that is gone, there will be no on-site power anymore. Now that is mainly a problem for things like ventilation. It is an area where, if you are in buildings, if you're outside, you are exposed to higher levels of radiation still from the Chernobyl disaster. If you don't ventilate the buildings, that means that the workers will get a slightly higher exposure to radiation. That is a problem. The other problem is the ventilation of the safe containment, which needs to be ventilated to keep it more or less, to keep moisture away from the steel shield. If that doesn't happen, the shield will start corroding, and that is a setback of the work that has been done there over the last decades.
The IAEA says, sorry to interrupt, the IAEA says that the nuclear fuel that's stored there has cooled down sufficiently for it not to be an imminent safety concern. So is there a fear about a radioactive leak, or is this something that is largely contained?
The radioactive waste there, the spent fuel, is stored in 2 sites, and one of them is a wet storage, where most of the spent fuel still is stored. We talk about 21,000 fuel elements. Now, that is already so old that even if the electricity comes down, we don't expect those pools to boil dry or to evaporate dry. We expect that they will stay underwater at least for several weeks. If they fall dry, even then the heat that comes off, it will not be so large that that would cause a larger catastrophe. So the spent fuel there is a concern from military side. I mean, if anybody starts shooting there or dropping bombs on it, it is definitely a large problem. But it is not a problem now for just the fact that electricity is not there.
Okay, and so we know that the Russian army is in control of the power plant, and they cut the power. I mean, all these problems that you've alluded to, why on earth would they have cut the power? What does that get them?
It's a link towards Kiev, and I think that's probably one of the reasons that link has been cut. So it's nothing to do with Chernobyl more, but with the surrounding areas. I also don't think that they're in control. I mean, they're in control of in control with violence of who can do what, but they're not in control of what is happening there because they don't have the knowledge for that. The experts there are the people from the staff, the Ukrainian staff there, and they need to get, as soon as possible, all their rights and possibilities restored. Shifts being able to change food, water, getting into the area so that they can feed themselves properly, that they can rest properly, and they need the electricity so that they can restart the cooling. That's very important, and also restart ventilation and other vital equipment, especially also measurement equipment. We're blind basically. We have no idea what the radiation situation is because the measurement equipment can't function without the electricity.
Some troubling concerns there, Jan. Thank you very much indeed for speaking with us. Jan Haverkamp there.
You're welcome.